Even though I have always been skinny, I have never had a six-pack. Right now, you're probably in the same position that I was in from some years ago. And you're probably wondering, yeah, like I am actually skinny. So how can it be that I don't have a six-pack? And that is because you just need to lose more weight. No, you fucking dumbass. It's because it's a fucking muscle. If you haven't trained the muscle, it obviously don't grow. Anyone who tells you things like, oh, you just have to lose some weight, then you will be able to see your abs. Yeah, if you have trained your abs, then it will be visible. But most people actually haven't trained their abs. So even if you lose the weight, if you're fat, then you won't be able to see the abs. You have to train it. It's a muscle. And that's when I realized that even though I was skinny, I thought I should have a six-pack, right? And that's when I realized that it doesn't matter how skinny you are. If you haven't trained your abs, you will never have a six-pack. I then started to do some research on YouTube on the classic how to get abs quickly or how to get abs in 5 minutes. And I figured out that the reason why these bullshit videos don't work is because they optimize for retention and just views. They are basically clickbait. They just show you what seems attractive. They tell you in the titles like how to get abs in 30 days. You will never get abs that quickly. Like, let me just break it down to you because I actually tell you what will help you. I don't just try to make you be happy like, oh yes bro, of course, if you just eat some more vegetables today, you will have the six-pack tomorrow. No, motherfucker, you won't. You have to train the muscle. But you don't want to do it like the videos tell you because they tell you like 5 to 10 different exercises in 5 minutes, and that is absolutely absurd. Imagine if I told you that you had to go to the gym right now. You have 5 minutes to do 10 different chest exercises. You will be like, what? I need like 5 minutes for just one set. So you can see now they are fucking bullshit. That's when I started to find real influencers who actually want the best for you. And that's when I founded somebody who has gotten an aesthetic physique, which is basically just a really attractive physique for men. And that is Hamza. And that's when I found out something really interesting. And that is, if you want to grow your abs, getting a six-pack, you need to do two things. And that is train your upper abs, as you can see on this picture, and your lower abs, as you can see as well on this picture. So basically, if we want to grow our lower abs, we need to do an exercise where we do some kind of leg raises. So that could be lying leg raises on the floor or on a bench press. It could be hanging knee raises, or it could be hanging leg raises. And for our upper abs, we need to do some kind of crunching movement. That is just a good thumb rule because of course we still target our abs when we do stability exercises, when we just need to stabilize our core. It could be bench press, it could be squats, etc., right? But it doesn't really target it specifically. So if I had to start over again and I had to build this aesthetic physique, especially focusing on the abs, I would just do 2 to 3 trainings per week, full body. On each workout, you want to incorporate one ab exercises at the end of your workout session, where you do of the 2 out of 3 workouts you do for the lower abs on the 2 workouts, and the last workout you do for your upper abs. So for example, let's say you train Monday, Thursday and Sunday. On Monday you should train your lower abs, then on Thursday you should train your upper abs, and then on Sunday we train our lower abs again. The exercises that I would do if I were a beginner would be to do the lying leg raises. It's just so easy to progressive overload this. I actually did something very interesting. I have never seen anybody else do it, but I didn't think that you could just do the hanging leg raises or knee raises. So what I did was that I got like a weight belt, and that weight belt I put it around my legs, and then I put it literally weights on it, and then I would do leg raises, so it will be harder in that way, right? It's kind of stupid when I look back because it took so much time to set it all up and all that shit. So I would just recommend when you have completed 10-12 reps on the lying leg raises, I would start doing hanging knee raises. And that's actually the next step that I wanted to tell, but I kind of said it like that is the sets and the rep range. I would do 3 sets where you do between 8 to 15 reps, where in the first sets you would do the more the lower reps where we focus more on the strength, and then on the second and the third we want to focus more on the hypertrophy, which means that we do higher reps. Then a bonus tip you can do to grow even more muscle is to implement something called a drop set. That is when you have done your third set, you don't stop there. You drop the weight, or in this case, you do an easier version and then you just spam that out until you feel completely burnt out. So the technique that I want to talk about is that when most people do leg raises, especially when I started out, I just thought that you just needed to raise your legs. You don't just raise your legs. When you raise your legs, you kind of want to then, when you have gotten your legs up, you want to curl your body upwards so your ass is lifting the floor. So you crunch upwards. The exercise then I would do for the upper abs is to do just a simple sit-up exercise. So if you're a beginner, I would just recommend just doing it plainly on the floor. If you progress, then you can start doing a decline where you have where your body is like this, and then you have to crunch upwards. That is actually really fun to do. And the sets and the reps is the exact same as I said before, and the techniques as well. Or actually not the technique, because now of course we just want to think about the opposite way of curling. We don't curl with our legs, we curl with our upper body. And I explain things like this much further details inside of my program. It's currently in pre-sale for just $35, just one-time payment. And it will be the lowest that it will ever be. So if you're interested to see more about this program, then you can just go down and click the top link in the description. And the last thing that I want to talk about is that even though if you have trained correctly like this, as I've told you, if you don't know how to recover properly, then it will all be useless. An analogy that I want you to remember is that imagine you have a house. You want to build a more stable, stronger, and more pretty house. What we need to do is that we need to break down the house first, and then we need to rebuild our house, of course, to get it stronger. But it won't get any stronger if we don't get the right materials, basically your diet. So you're breaking down the house, gone to the gym, now we need to rebuild your house, which is your physique. And the way that we do this is by focusing on the protein. We just need to eat more protein than what you currently think, because your parents have probably been lied to by the doctors and all this, and they have been telling them that they shouldn't eat too much protein. Of course you can eat too much of it, but I'm definitely sure you don't eat enough. So the range that I would recommend is doing 1.6 to 2.6 grams per kilo body weight. And that is something that I found in a book, so that's why I recommend it. I would always go on to the higher end, at least like 2 to 2.6 grams kilo body weight. But that is something that you just need to experiment with yourself to see what fits better for you. If you want more breakdowns like this, where I teach you advanced tips on how to grow aesthetic, then this channel is just for you. That's why I will highly recommend you to go down, subscribe to this channel, so you'll finally be able to look like a Greek fucking god, just like I have achieved. And of course, these points were important, but if you don't watch this video, then it will all be pointless. Like, the magic will just be lost. So go watch this right now. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day, bro. Mwah.